The UK's only gender identity clinic or hospital has been shut down. That's a good thing. It's an excellent thing. It's an amazing thing. I'm still frustrated though. So it looks like some people have caught wind of the nonsense going on. The UK's only gender identity hospital has just been shut down in the UK. Ha, bruh. It's not a laughing matter though. It's not a laughing matter because it's a bunch of kids in weird, compromising, uncomfortable, vulnerable situations right now. You know what I mean? I realize that, but I'm definitely happy that folks are getting called out on their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Let's tap into this article real quick. The NHS is to close the UK's only dedicated gender identity clinic for children and young people. Tavistock and Portman NHS Foundation Trust have been told to shut the clinic down by spring after it was criticized in an independent review. Instead, new general centers will be set up to ensure the holistic needs of patients are fully met, the NHS said. A rep from the NHS said the current model of care was leaving young people at considerable risk of poor mental health and distress, and having one clinic was not a safe or viable long-term option. So Kira Bell, who brought a high court case against Tavistock challenging its use of puberty blockers, said she was pleased it was closing, adding many children will be saved from going down the path that I went down. Okay, so she was a patient there. Then former patient Kira Bell went to court saying she had not been challenged enough about her decision at 16 to take drugs that began her transition from female to male, a decision she later regretted. Earlier this year, Dr. Cass's report said there was a lack of understanding about why the type of patients the clinic was seeing was changing, with more female to male patients and more autistic children. Dr. Cass also highlighted inconclusive evidence to back some of the clinical decision making. The clinic's imminent closure will be a source of worry for other young people wanting support with gender dysphoria. The hope is the services that replace it will be more helpful and useful and efficient. Good shit. The Tavistock Clinic named the Gender and Identity Development Service, GIDS, I'm assuming GIDS, was launched in 1989 to help people aged 17 and under struggling with their gender identity. But in 2020, questions about the service were raised after it was rated inadequate by inspectors following concerns raised by whistleblowers and reported by the BBC Newsnight. The Cass review was commissioned in September 2020 amid the rise in demand, long waiting times for assessments, and significant external scrutiny around GID's approaching capacity, the NH said. In an interim report earlier this year, Dr. Cass said the service was struggling to deal with the spiraling waiting list. It was not keeping routine and consistent data on its patients. Health staff felt under pressure to adopt an unquestioning affirmative approach. Health staff felt under pressure to adopt an unquestioning affirmative approach. Ruining lives, bruh. Ruining fucking lives, dog. This shit irritates me. Like, I'm so glad they're closing this fucking office because they caught up to speed on this bullshit and they took a proactive approach, you know, doing their due diligence to investigate and see that this nonsense was going on. It really irritates me and it sticks with me because, you know, we got motherfuckers like Matt Walsh out here, you know what I'm saying, saving the world. And you got all these evil motherfuckers out here making up dumb shit about what the hell Matt Walsh is doing and questioning the genuineness and sincerity of what he put together with that what is a woman documentary, right? Saying that like I just heard a bunch of dumb shit, man. And people are like really trying to socially persecute Matt Walsh for saying so, man. But it's so sad and it's like evil, man, because it's about the kids. And it's like, to me, I shouldn't say to me, for the majority, man, it's a lot of evil shit that goes on within our world, right? You know what I'm saying? And we get immune to it. We get numb to seeing this evil, nonsensical shit go on all the fucking time. But like when you mess with the kids, it seems like the world always stops in its tracks and everybody focuses their efforts and attention on making sure the kids is cool, making sure we do our best to save the kids. But then when you got these motherfucking crazy ass bitches that are out here existing in this world trying to demonize motherfuckers for saving the kids. And they're doing that for the almighty dollar because they want them. They want these kids fucked up so big pharma can fuck them up, man. But it's such the epitome of evil, man. When you got people out here attacking people's character for saving the kids, You know what I mean? Coming up with all types of bullshit, trying to socially assassinate people for saving the kids. Matt Walsh, JP, all the big wigs, all the big figures. Y'all know how that shit go. And What Is a Woman is like in my mind the most because that was such an excellent job by Matt Walsh putting that shit together, man. And just the fucking stupidity, the stupid ass, retarded, crazy, ridiculous, sadistic, demonic shit that was going on in that documentary. People were saying, people's beliefs, people's perspectives that was so outrageous and out of this world that was like dismantling and eradicating any future for these children, right? You got motherfuckers trying to assassinate Matt Walsh's character, questioning his motives and shit behind putting that documentary together, saying shit wasn't real. But then you get a story like this, a breaking story like this, that pretty much symbolizes everything Matt Walsh was talking about in that documentary. You can't debate the shit that Matt Walsh is saying when clearly you got a fucking hospital getting goddamn closed down because what was being said in that documentary is exactly what the fuck is taking place. It irritates me. So I'm glad that they handling this shit, tore this fucking hospital down. I hope motherfuckers over here get with the shit. I hope folks over here start becoming more confident and brave enough to speak up to speak their opinion, because we all know this is a bunch of bullshit and we gotta do our best. The only motherfuckers that can goddamn stop this shit is us. You know what I'm saying? Stop enrolling your children into crazy ass shit just because you feel forced or because of what they're fucking saying, man. You know what I mean? People are so quick to goddamn get on some puberty blockers or gender hormone therapy, whatever the hell it is, man. Like parents have to make sure your kid's mind is right. I mean, and to me, it's just a mental health thing. You got gender dysphoria, absolutely, you fucking do. But I'd imagine the majority of these motherfuckers out here, it's why such an upswing in people going to these fucking hospitals, because it's the trendy thing to do, just to be trans. It's trendy to be trans right now. It's the popular thing to do, right? So y'all parents should do y'all's fucking due diligence and do as much work as possible to make sure that this is what your kid actually is before y'all even goddamn do some permanent damage to him. Now, how the fuck you feel that your fucking girl that went to a male is now upset she's a male and wants to go back to a girl because you yourself as a parent wasn't responsible enough to goddamn take control of your fucking child's life to make sure they're in the best position to be successful? You just undercut them. You undercut them, right? And we don't know what's going to happen down the road 15, 20 years from now. The only constant stat that they had is that mental health was affected the most by this. Suicide rate goes up tremendously because what we're doing to kids right now. It's only going to get worse, man. Motherfuckers, wake the hell up. All right, my bad. Get off my fucking soapbox. Let's continue this fucking article. Once patients are identified as having gender-related distress, other healthcare issues they had, such as being neurodivergent, can sometimes be overlooked. Of course, if you want to be a girl, all right, sign this paper. Here we go. They're not questioning shit. She then suggested introducing local hubs, writing that the current provider model is not safe or viable long-term option. The number of people seeking the clinic's help is 20 times higher than it was a decade ago, jumping from 250 to 5,000 referrals in 2021, according to the service statistics, bro. 250 to 5,000. 250 to 5,000. It's trendy to be trans. Say it again. This means the average person waits 2 years before they are seen by a specialist, which is even more detrimental to their health because you're not even giving them the motherfucking service they need to help them mentally, man. The mother of a former Tavistock patient who was not being named by the BBC said there are clear difficulties in having one clinic to treat trans and gender questioning people across the UK. In the case of Kira Bell, now aged 25, she was prescribed puberty blockers at age 16, then received testosterone shots a year later, and at age 20 had a double mastectomy. She later changed her mind over her decision to transition to a male. She argued the clinic should have challenged her more over her decision to transition. All that needs to be said. Look at this. In Mrs. Bell's case, the High Court ruled under 16s lacked the capacity to give informed consent to the treatment. This was later overturned by the Court of Appeal, which ruled doctors could judge if under 16s could give informed consent to puberty blocker use. Hey, doc, just go ahead. Whatever the doc say, it ain't what the kids say. Whatever the doc say. Write that subscription, cash me that check. Crazy. Miss Bell told BBC Radio 4 World at 1, I went through a lot of distress as a teenager. Really, I just needed some mental health support and therapy from everything that I've been through. There needs to be mental health support first and foremost. Facts. Facts. Well, it's gonna be more harm done before this shit, takes a upswing where we need to go to fucking save the kids and protect the kids, man. Protect the families, protect the mothers and fathers, protect the schools. It's gonna be a lot more damage before we goddamn start helping and healing people, right? All right, motherfuckers got to get brave. You know what I'm saying? Speak the fuck up, mama, daddy, right? Kids' livelihood, the kids' whereabouts. That's your responsibility, man. Your responsibility, man. You better exhaust all fucking resources before you put your fucking 16-year-old kid on fucking puberty blockers, fucking double mastectomy, before you cut a dick off, before you give some fucking hormone therapy. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no fucking doctors pressure you to goddamn do some shit because your kids say so. Kids want shit all the goddamn time. Teenagers think they know every fucking thing, right? You better goddamn step up and handle your motherfucking responsibility as a goddamn parent. Fuck. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Big Pharma is a bitch. Government is a bitch. Social media is a bitch. We know this shit. But at the end of the day, it's on you. It's on you, man. It may take some sacrifice, maybe a hard work, maybe an uphill battle, man, but them is your kids. You gotta fucking do whatever you gotta do to protect them.